Greetings one and all, this is X82 as always welcoming you, viewer, to this episode of X82's Unscripted. And in this episode I'll be reviewing Metal Gear Solid, which I downloaded from the PlayStation Network stores, PlayStation 1 Classic for the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation Vita. Now when I first heard about Metal Gear Solid, I wasn't that interested. But when I watched Categories' video about Metal Gear Solid, and then the review made by the completionist about Metal Gear Solid, I got a little bit interested. So then, after viewing a couple of top 10 saddest ending videos, which was about Metal Gear Solid 4, I got really interested. Then I downloaded the original game, the special missions, the HD remake of 1, 2, 3 and the Peace Walker. Bought the 4th one. Then I bought the Legacy Collection for the PlayStation 3. And trust me, that game is hard to find. eBay, you might find a cheap one, but they will go up to 100. Not worth it. But why did I bought the Legacy Collection? Well, the art book was really cool, and I actually really wanted to own the Legacy Collection. So what happened to the 4th one that I bought? The download code for 1 and special missions? Gave it to a friend of mine, which was nice of me. Then I deleted the HD remakes of 2, 3 and Peace Walker. So here's that. And I have to make one thing clear. When I'm talking about the presentation and the gameplay of any older title that's not this gen or the last gen, I'll be talking about how well have they stood up the test of time back then and now. If I didn't say about the gameplay, that thing counts as well. So then, let's start this video, shall we? Now, the story of Metal Gear Solid is a little bit complicated to explain without a script, because that's what I do. I don't do scripts. It's almost as hard to tell the story of Metal Gear Solid as to tell the story of Kingdom Hearts. But Kingdom Hearts is better than Metal Gear Solid. Oh shit, burn! What the fuck did I do that? Anyway, you play as Solid Snake, which is one of the biggest badasses of any video game franchises. And you go to the nuclear disposal facility in Shadow Moses Island in Alaska to stop members of Foxhound, which are Decoy Octopus, Psycho Mantis, Sniper Wolf, Revolver Ocelot, which is who is later becomes the main villain of the Metal Gear Solid franchise. And of course Liquid Snake. But wait, why does Liquid has almost the same name as Solid Snake? Well, that's a one plot twist I won't spoil. Oh fuck it, it's a game made by 88. So might as well. They're brothers. Dear brother. Was that from? Yeah, that was from the game. Because they were cloned from the big boss's DNA. And Liquid is angry for Solid Snake because he never get the glory that Solid Snake had, saying he was always the favorite one. Oh great, sibling rivalry spoils everything. And also there's, with helping Solid Snake, there's the Colonel. Meryl, which is Colonel's niece. Mei-Ling, who saves the game. And Dr. Naomi Hunter. No wait, I also forgot about Arakan. And there's also the DARPA chief and the president of Armstead, which you have to save because they're hostage. And you figure out that there's another Metal Gear in development by both the Armstead and the DARPA. I don't know what the fuck is DARPA. And there's also called Metal Gear Rex, which Liquid is trying to use to, I don't know, was it to take over the world? And there's also the infamous Fox virus, which was infected to Solid Snake to infect everyone in the Shadow Moses Island 2, so that the government can get the Metal Gear Rex without any casualties causing by them. And like I said, it's complicated, but it's a really good story. The characters are really fleshed out. The voice acting for the time was really awesome. I mean, come on, David Hayter as Solid Snake, that's awesome. And the voice acting is just, it's really good, like I said, for the time. And I mean, Hideo Kojima, you made something awesome in the 90s, and you evolved with even bigger awesomeness in the 2000s later. That's what I can say, it's really good. Now the presentation for the time is really good. For the time it was revolutionary. That's and sound effects. The classic sound effect is really awesome. That, you know, the zing when you get spotted by an enemy. And like I said, the voice acting is really good. David Hayter as Solid Snake classic, but the voice acting for Revolver Ocelot is also awesome. And voice acting for Liquid, Arakan, the Colonel. Why do I do that? Try to be cool. And it's just awesome. I mean, it's really good, and it has really decently stood up the test of time. I can say it's really good for the time it was made. You know, and you may be wondering why I don't do jack shit right now, because I'm waiting for the elevator, because this is the start. You know, that voice. And that musical piece is really awesome. And the cinematic view that it has in the cutscenes was really revolutionary at the time, so I've heard and done some little bit of research about it. Again.
Where'd he go?
So that's that. It's a was really good at the time, and it's really decently good for now. The gameplay.
Colonel, what's a Russian gunship doing here?
The gameplay.
But it looks like our little diversion got their attention. Now's your best
The
chance.
game controls similar to Resident Evil, but not as clunky. It's really smoothly if you compare it to Resident Evil. And you can find the weapons.
There are only 18 hours left until they're dead, Ryan. You've got to hurry.
And
Must be crazy to fly high in this kind of weather.
Who's that? Oh, sorry. I haven't
You-
introduced you to yet. This is
you
me.
control with
She was
the
assigned to us as our
not
data
the
processing
analog
specialist.
with the D-pad.
Codec, as well as your Soliton radar system. Contact her if you have any questions about either of them.
Nice to meet you, Snake. It's an honor to speak to a living legend.
And when you find your first gun, the SOCOM, you use it by holding down the square button,
Military technology to be so cute.
You're just flattering me.
and
I'm serious.
you pull the trigger
I
by
won't be bored
pushing
for
the
these 18 hours.
Come on.
the square button, and you can enter first person mode by the
I'm surprised. You're very frank for a trained killer.
triangle
We
button,
have a lot to learn about each other.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to
and
learning
you can
about
do
the
some
mankind.
fighting moves with
But
the
first, let me explain about your Soliton radar system.
circle button.
The bright dot in the middle is you, Snake. The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision. Be
And now
careful,
mailing
Snake.
it
The
is
G9 soldiers have highly developed senses of hearing and vision due to their gene therapy. Make sure
So
you don't let them
is
see.
explaining about the Soliton radar.
The disposal site and look for the DARPA chief.
The DARPA chief was injected
And
with
this is a
PS transmitting nanomachines as you. He should appear on your radar as a green dot.
Get whatever information you can from him about the terrorists. If he's
well,
alive,
this is
that
really hard to explain the gameplay.
Snake, your radar isn't affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy...
I'll just skipping this. I'm not because it's boring, but because it takes too long. It's not boring.
if you want to get it.
And you use rations to get your health back. Right now I don't have any items. And you can crouch with the X button. But it's really easy to die in this game if you're not careful, because this is a stealth game, so you have to use many times a stealth.
Whose footprints are these?
Now I find my SOCOM, my pistol.
Surveillance camera?
example using stealth.
That base must have some kind of ventilation system to recirculate the air. There should be air ducts around there somewhere. They must need a lot of power to run the base. There's probably a diesel generator somewhere. And since generating electricity requires...
Okay, because maybe this is boring you, I'll be skipping the codec calls. And that was an example using stealth. And now I'm in first person. Oh, what now?
Snake, this is McDonald.
Oh yeah, McDonald Miller.
Master, what are you doing here?
I quit being
He's an also
so I moved down here.
one of the characters that you
I'm in retirement, just like you.
who's helping you on your journey.
Still help train the
Well,
overseas
helping because plot twist.
Campbell told
That
me
is really Liquid Snake.
might be of some use.
There's no one I'd rather have in a foxhole than you.
Now the replayability. There's only one thing about the replay, that's because this game has multiple endings. Actually there's two. The one which you rescue Meryl and she drives the jeep, and if you don't rescue Meryl or if you give up on her, then Arkan is driving you around with the jeep at the end, and you get rewards like with the if you don't give up on Meryl, you get a classical suit like James Bond, and you get infinite ammo. And if you give up on Meryl and Arkan is driving, then he will doing that will give you a sneaking suit, which means the enemies won't see you. So that's really cool to replay the game. It's not much, but it's really good for my standards. And now for the final verdict. Metal Gear Solid gets 7.5 out of 10. It's a really fun game, but it has aged a little bit because of the with the tank controls, but it's really still fun to play, replay, and to experience it because of the story, the presentation with the voice acting, the because the graphics were revolutionary at the time, and for the kick-ass voice acting, if I didn't already say that, and to see the multiple endings. It's really fun, and even though I will not give it the X82's seal of approval, I will give, but it will, when I review every single Metal Gear game, not as part of the Legacy Collection, I will eventually give the whole series the X82's seal of approval, but not now. Anyway, I hope you liked this episode of X82's Unscripted, and as always, if you liked it, you can like, favorite, or even subscribe. And if you have a comment or a question for me, you can comment down below. And when you're doing that, check my description box where you will find links to my Facebook and Twitter page, so you can follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook. I will put the link to Facebook there and to the Twitter there. Now I need to do something different on the next episode, but what? I know, I'll do a console review, but what console? The Wii U? Maybe. The PlayStation 3? Not a bad idea. 3DS? Possible? Or what about PlayStation Vita? Tough choice. Of course, I'll be reviewing the PlayStation 4. Until next time, this is X82 signing out.